This is One on One. We're pleased to be joined by Joan Holland-Donner as Manager of Grants and Philanthropy, the Horizon Foundation for New Jersey, and Susan Hall, CEO, Boys and Girls Clubs in New Jersey. Good to have you both with us.
Thank you.
Excuse my voice. We are talking about asthma, which is a lot more serious than just having an allergy problem, which I have. Let's talk about this asthma problem. It affects more than 300,000 kids in New Jersey, right? And Horizon, together with the Boys and Girls Clubs, want to deal with it. Describe this program, which is called Breathe Easier with Asthma Management, otherwise known as BEAM.
Okay.
B-E-A-M.
Right, thank you. Well, asthma, for those who may not know, is a disorder that causes the airways of the lungs to swell, and it narrows the airways, and it causes sneezing, coughing, tightness in the chest, and so on. And as you mentioned, it's prevalent among children. Current asthma cases for New Jersey children is about 9% of the population. And interestingly, if you look at the Department of Health statistics, there are totally needless hospitalizations and ER visits. In fact, 16,600 hospitalizations in 2009, 52.7 thousand ER visits. And with asthma, the deal is that you cannot prevent it, you cannot cure it, but you can, in the vast majority of cases, you can manage it and treat it. So we decided that asthma was such a significant problem, and it meets the Foundation's mission.
The Horizon Foundation.
The Horizon Foundation for New Jersey, to improve the health, well-being, and quality of life.
That's what you do.
That's what we do. And if you're talking about children, think about that as a parent. You've got your 6-year-old. The 6-year-old is having an asthma attack, the wheezing, the shortness of breath. Well, what we've discovered is we can manage that for most people. So we designed a program where we're going to be working with the Boys and Girls Clubs in New Jersey, and Susan can explain the attributes of that.
Describe exactly how it works as we put the information up on the website.
We're going to be piloting the program in 12 of our clubs throughout New Jersey and in 8 counties.
The BEAM program.
The BEAM program. And the kids will be exposed to learning about what asthma is.
First of all, telling them what it is.
Telling them what it is, just the basics. So this will be children that might have asthma already, but might not have asthma, so know nothing about it.
Are they getting screened as well?
They're going to be
How
getting
they get
screened
screened?
well.
Susan, how they get
We're going
screened?
to bring in health professionals, and they will get screened individually. We'll have a referral service for the parents. We're actually doing a parent engagement evening where the parents come in and the parents get to learn a little bit more about the management program. So it's a whole step process that we're doing to introduce the kids to asthma and have their understanding, because it's not just about having the asthma themselves, but having a friend that has asthma.
Why is that important?
Well, triggers. What do you know if your friend might be having a symptom of an attack? So the more that the children are aware of this, then they can be helpful to their friends and saying to them, you better go, take your inhaler or whatever it is that they need to do.
Let's talk about this. Say through this program, the BEAM program, you realize, Joan, that a kid does in fact have asthma, then what?
Well, then we are going to have a referral system, and we'll be handing out brochures to the parents, because one thing that there's no doubt about is there is a connection between asthma prevalence and poverty. Okay, so
What is that connection?
Well, the reasons we can only guess. It could have to do with where the children are living,
Right.
because some of the triggers are things like mold, exhaust, and that kind of thing.
And also pollution, smog, all kinds of things. So there are
Absolutely.
things that trigger asthma. Go ahead.
Right, and a lot of children living in poverty are in environments where those are very prevalent. So that's the main factor there, is poverty linked with asthma. Also, there's differences in the demographics. African Americans tend to have higher rates. Then that's followed by Hispanics, followed by Caucasians. And a very interesting tidbit, asthma is much more prevalent among boys over girls in childhood. And then it switches in adults.
Do we even know why?
No.
Oh, Jesus.
Here's another one you probably hear. We need more research.
Of course, right?
Right.
And so the Boys and Girls Club, right? How many clubs again? 12?
We have 23 clubs,
But 12 are
but 12 are
piloting.
piloting the program.
Why is it so important for the Boys and Girls Club? Now, I grew up on the Boys and Girls Club. Mine happened to be, as you know, I always like to say I'm the Broadway Boys and Girls
Right.
Club. That was mine, right?
Right,
The North
right,
End
right,
was the
right,
best.
right.
Why is this? We used to be the Boys Club. Now it's the Boys and Girls Club. Thank God.
Well-
why is it so important?
You know, what we do with our kids is a healthy lifestyles. You know, we're looking at the whole child. So we're not just looking at academically, character, and leadership. We're looking at health. And they engage in physical activities
Right.
at the clubs. So it's very important that they understand what asthma is and how it can impact them.
They're so physical.
They're so
They're involved in
physical.
so many athletic and physical
Swimming.
activities at the Boys and Girls Club. If they have a problem with asthma, you got to be all over
We
it.
have to. So not only do our children need to be aware, but our staff also need to be aware. So it's an education that's going to happen for everybody in the club.
But don't you have to also protect those kids if some of them have asthma and they're involved in athletic activities?
Yes.
Like, what do you do?
Exactly. So what's the emergency situation?
That's right.
And how do you handle it? So you can,
The inhaler
maximize-
situation, or maybe they shouldn't be doing
Right.
certain things at certain times, right?
That's correct.
Yes,
I mean, it's
exactly.
knowledge is the power. It's a public awareness campaign, right?
Very, very much so. This program has several components, and when we actually commissioned a research paper before we launched the program. We did 23 interviews with experts in the area, both external and internal. We found out that it needs to have the awareness raised. It's not enough is known about it. We need to know that we have to educate children, parents. We have to make sure children are screened. We have to make sure that they're referred to medical providers that can treat their problem, and we also have to evaluate to see if the program is
I knew you'd get
successful.
back on track. No, it was great. Listen, I want to thank both of you for joining us. We're partners with the Boys and Girls Clubs, and we're partners with Horizon. You're the best. Important information.